What's this all about? Why have I been called back again? Well, I didn't call for you. I called for the old man. Where my son's belly is empty, he's fiercer than a pack of wolves. Cast one became a ruined man of Christ, a worthless wizard, and thief. Nothing more I have to say. The sun is set on this, or else the shop owners extreme. Be that as it may, Korikujuta. Something has come to light that requires your clarification. As far as your Rasute memory serves, you see, that, yes, that's it, the one, the very exact one that is. There's been a splendiferous hoard treasure that my rusty bones managed to misplace that fateful day. It can't be. As I thought. Young man, enlightened as a discrepant fool, put me out of my misery. Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped? Oh, I'm not sure it was dropped anywhere. You found your coin sandwiched between a beefsteak and its plate, soaking into seasoned meat juices. So was it the old man's plate that he got brought back? Was it not even the right plate he brought? Sandwiched? Soaking? Seriously? Clearly, it could not have fallen there by accident, which means somebody must have hidden it there on purpose. Somebody concealed my Hoei treasure between a slab of meat and a metal plate? Who would do such a thing? Such conscienceable thing? Excuse me, could I say something? Yes, of course. Proceed, Inspector Hosonaga. I mentioned this earlier on the trial, but I was working undercover in a restaurant in order to investigate another case. Yes, that's right, the secret undercover operation. Kind of a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similar executed thefts targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such incidents have been reported to the police bureau. Is she a thief? Case in the bud, especially with so many foreigners being affected. So that's why you're sent in undercover, is it? Yes, I took on a job of waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. It seems likely that the Koban incident in the work of the same thief. So unbeknownst to us, there was a master thief at work in a restaurant on a regular basis. The place was already the scene of several crimes, it seems. I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of the person who stole the hidden Kodoton Kusan is all too clear. It was her. Like, the only option's her, right? The sergeant? What makes you think it's a sergeant? Like, what does the sergeant have to do with it? like a cannon from Clover. No, come on. Shocked me, cousin. Okay, so it's not her? Oh, wait, the old man was saying he goes there, and, like, he talks to her, talks to people. Oh, so yeah, if they brought back the wrong plate, so if is it that Sarge? Is it Nosa? Wait. So if we so if we do this, we prove this plate was at Nosa's table. Nosa and the old man's table. So that means the plate the inspector brought back was the wrong plate. So if he goes and gets the other plate, brings back blood on the thing, bada bada boom. That kind of makes sense.
Take that!
And apparently it's correct. The music stopped. Obviously, it can only be you, Sergeant Iesa Nosa. What? How? How dare you? You monster! Monster? I stole that kaboom, did I? Kaban, did I? I'm a master thief, a letter of a kind of vanilla. Am I? You seriously accusing me of these crimes, cadet? But it wasn't me. It was Ido. Ido is the mastermind behind all of this. Huh? You'd push the blame for your crimes on your own son. You'd push the blame of your son on your own crimes on your own son, an innocent little baby. It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Nosa. What the heck? Upon Imperial Army Sergeant Isasa Nosa, preparing to stand down in Superior Court, sir. What the heck? What is this crap? What is happening? Do any of you know? To explore a low wage, the Nippon Imperial Army pays those it expects to keep our country safe. I understand a temporary increase in taxation owing to the recently ended conflicts remain in place. I've heard that it's hard for lower-ranking soldiers to make a living. Yes. All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son. That's why you were stealing things at the restaurant. This place is heaving with money. Every 3 days I go there to do restaurants for my target. And I enjoy chopping my way through a good steak at the same time. Sounds like he doesn't bother with a fork at night, which is worryingly believable. And your target that day was the old man and his koban. Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped a coin into my pocket without trouble at all. A veritable phantom thief. I was all set to leave the steak halfway through devouring when it happened. Yes, when the professor was shot. that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. Adieu. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could. On the double. I slipped it under the stake, hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date. Ah! There's no shot you would have gotten that stake back. This is ridiculous. Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd paddling in your own time. Well, Miss Brett. Oh, of course, dear lady, of course. How rude of me. I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all. Hold up. Nope, nope. Nope, 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 nope. Indeed. The theft of the Coleman coin was clearly perpetrated by this badly settled sort. It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder. Of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. No sheer nonsense. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. Well, oof. And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a fork, it's beyond nonsense. Pure madness. Very well. Now that all questions concerning this witness's testimony have been answered, I see no further justification for detaining her. No. No. No, no, no. Stop her right now. Stop it. No. And good day. Yosuke, what's the matter with you? This is no time for daydreaming. Oh, no. It's just something about Miss Britt's parting words there got me thinking. Can't quite work it out exactly. Something just jarred at me. I feel like there's a contradiction in there somewhere. Something didn't quite add up. If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking. Make your voice heard. Sorry. You can think later. But if you don't call it now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over. Hold it! Wait, Miss Britt. What is it now? I'm afraid. Just one last time. There's something I'd like to ask. I'd like to explain the contradiction in your parting words just a few moments ago. What are you talking about? What contradiction?
Objection!
What new student nonsense is this? Well, what parting words are you talking about, Ryunosuke? Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such idea astounds me. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such astounds me. As for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness. She would have never done it. Well, what's the contradiction there? Yeah, but there's a fork and knife in this picture. See? There's a fork and knife in the picture from their table. And it's visible here too. It's not the plate with blood? How does that make sense? We'll just press on and we'll see what happens. I I'm going to need to see evidence, Counsel. Miss Brett's words are truly contradictory. Where is the evidence to prove? Oh yeah, there's no fork and knife with this.
Take that!
The steak from that Miss Brett had been eaten before the professor was killed. Yes, go on. More accurately, Your Excellency, the steak was on the victim's steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed. You're just splitting hairs. Not true. Doesn't something about the steak strike you as unnatural? Unnatural? What on earth do you mean? It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten. I see you've noticed it too, Miss Brett. Noticed what exactly? Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman could ever contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using a fork and knife. She did. She's a refined English gentlewoman herself. Take a look at the steak, and particularly the edge where it's been eaten. As you can see, there are clearly defined barbaric teeth marks. It looks like Miss Brett has realized something. So, if the witness, as she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a fork and knife, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all.
Objection!
But what's your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett.
Shut up!
Oh, whatever you say, dear lady. As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly just wait any longer. Of course, but this will be all over in a blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm about to put this rookie in his place.
Shut up!
I've heard enough. Irritating spectacled samurai relic. Oof, of course, dear lady. What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have we ruffled your feathers? Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She realized the catastrophic implications these teeth marks in the steak have for her. Yosuke, do you know where you're going with this? Yes, we know. Now, at last, it all comes together. The mysterious teeth marks in the steak had allegedly been eaten with cutlery. While the bloodstains somehow seemed to have disappeared. And most important, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day. I accept these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, Counsel. What exactly are you suggesting that tells us? Everything, Your Excellency. Everything? Yes. Well, these barbaric teeth marks in the steak here amount to conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that will prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson.
Shut up!
Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You wouldn't know the meaning of the phrase. Typical Japanese empty threats. Can you be so sure? Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to court long ago. Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet. It hasn't been? What? But just because it hasn't been shown yet, doesn't mean the evidence does not exist.
Objection!
That's absurd. The trial has run on for several hours now, and you say that evidence has yet to be brought forward? It can't be. I don't believe you have it.
Objection!
You're right, I don't have it. The inspector does. I don't, but there is someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. That person is... And if that person is willing to submit that piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve every remaining mystery about this case. Very well. I have a feeling this will be my last request of defense in this trial. Who possesses the conclusive evidence that will reveal the truth of this case? Hosonoga.
Take that!
Answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosonoga. What? I have it? Yes. You think I've been holding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous. No. I'm not saying that. Everyone's attention has been focused on this stake with the king's force. Yes. Now, earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nussa told the court that I enjoyed chomping Wentworth through a good steak. While admitting his feeling cooked with the sound, he told us he slipped it under his steak. Watch him, cadet. I'm a superior officer. Sergeant Nussa, could you please confirm something? Was the stake you put the coin under, in fact, your own stake? Attention! Affirmative, of course. I might be a soldier in the Imperial Nippon Army, but still. I am not brave enough to ask a foreign gentle lady if she'd be manhandling her meal to hide something in it. Interesting. In other words, the stake the detective submitted earlier was in fact Sergeant Nossa's.
Objection!
But that makes no sense. Point taken from the evidence, the victim's table.
Objection!
Yet the gentleman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor does she have any opportunity to steal the coin. Of course, I didn't steal it. To even suggest such a thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire. Well then, how do you explain this paradox? Exactly. You're not going to suggest that the sergeant switched the two stakes over. He did. Well, no, the inspector did. You did switch the plates? Well, after it happened, as I said, I immediately lifted my stick and hit the coin underneath it. But then when the waiter announced he was an undercover police officer, I thought I'd had it. He decided to investigate my slap of meat. Said I'd be getting my marching orders. So when a cadet here was arrested and taken off to the kitchen, I seized my chance. And that would explain why I was in front of the old man. So in military precision and timing, I switched my stake with the one on the foreign lady's table. What? You can't have it. I never saw you do such a thing. It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you. So yes, I did what had to be done. What is this case? However, fear not, Prosecutor Son. What now? I swear on the brass buttons of my uniform. That's all I did, sir.
Yes!
So Sergeant Joseph switched plates over. It means he took Miss Brett's steak and played on it back to his own table. Yes, that follows. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Earlier in the trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not taken Miss Brett's steak after the incident, but You not only taken Miss Brett's stake after the incident, we also took the sergeant's. To preserve the evidence, you had taken both. That's correct. Then please present it to the court now. The plate that was actually on the victim's table at the precise moment he was shot.
Shut up!
What can that possibly tell us now? I mean, the cold slab of tough meat can have the slightest bearing on
Objection!
It'll have the blood on it. No, you're wriggling your way out. No, wait, no, you're not wriggling your way out of it this time, lady. I beg your pardon. Surely you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why the stake pan promises to prove such a problem for you, no? You're the ones who decided it was a problem, not me. The reason that's asked to the plate was to confirm something the defendant remembered seeing. Thinks he remembers. I'm quite sure of what I saw, Miss Brett. On the side of the plate, on the side of the plate that was on the table directly behind Dr. Wilson, there was a clear splatter of blood from the gunshot wound to the victim's chest. I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. Now we have the evidence to prove it. The plate you were eating from, Miss Brett. Let us not prolong this any further. Inspector, will you show the evidence to prove? Present the beefsteak plate that was originally on the victim's table at the time of the incident. Yes, sir. There's a blood stain. You can see it. See, there's steak on its plate. Please, feel free to examine it. Bada bing, bada boom, there's the blood. It's a blood stain. It's clearly visible. Look.
Yes!
That shows him the victim was shot. Facing the table with his back to me. In other words, it's impossible for Naruhodo-san to have shot the victim. It can't be! In fact, there's only one person who could possibly shot Dr. Wilson from the front. I'm sure everyone knows by now who that person is. That's right, Miss Jesseline Brett. It's you. Is it finally over? Are we done? Outdone by a Japanese? Me? By a Japanese schoolboy? No. No. No! Okay. Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure. Most unbecoming behavior for an English gentlewoman. Forgive me. Well, Miss Brett, I think it's time you told the court what actually happened that day. The truth this time. Gladly, Your Excellency. I who took the professor's life using courier. As you surmise, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning. So you planned to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of the poison would be found in his water. Because cure is unheard of here in Japan. Yes. Of course, I never intended to remain at the restaurant for long as I did. I only needed to see the professor to take one tiny sip of his water, and it would be all over. I would place the steak I had ordered in front of him, then make it appear as though he had died and dining alone, and leave it immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table. That would be me, I suppose? Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter, but the fact that you had decided to come over to greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in his chair such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point. So I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment. A plan to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent young man. I happened to know the professor always carried a pistol, or a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had a bottle of cure in my hand, and my own pistol concealed under my skirt. See, we all knew she had one. Under your skirt? So I was right. There were two guns. Yes. And when I finished my coffee and got up to leave, that's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. A place where you were sure I would notice it. Everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun as I intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up, that's when you shot the professor with your own gun. Even though at that point, he was already dead. Naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared. Obviously, I had assumed Naruhodo-san was the culprit and apprehended him. Took him to the pantry that adjoins the kitchen and locked him inside. That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor in his chair around. You need to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson, or he picked up the gun. So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor. It's more than misdemeanor, woman. Your Excellency. Yes. I wonder. Might I speak with you in private later? I shall call on you. Thank you. Good day then, everyone. I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san. It would seem this trial has finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in agreement. This can't be! Akatsuchi does not lose. Not like this rookie student. Better start getting used to tough opposition. Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What? Yes? This is an insult to the Yaoji family name. I will never forget this. Oh, that I did not read. This insult to the Yaoji family name will never be forgotten. You become coincided with age, council. Let the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. In the way of the world, may you never forget that. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. A thousand millennia may pass, and still the Ryuji clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan. This trial in the Superior Court of Japan will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in our country's judicial system. Despite being summoned as accused, Ryunosuke Naruhodo presented an excellent case. Thank you, Your Excellency. The use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth is a modern methodology. After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wide world. But the Western ideas of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel unsure that the science will soon bring new methods of investigation and new procedures to justice. A new future of law awaits, but what it looks like, I cannot begin to imagine. That is for the young to pursue. Kazuma Asobi. Yes. After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can. Absorb everything of the wider world that you are able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you. I understand, Your Excellency. Seems taken aback by some. What's that about? Why do you look so brave all of a sudden? Never mind. As for you, Naruhodo, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Oh, yes? In you, I sense, how can I put it, unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that on. Thank you, Your Excellency. It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, not guilty. Finally! If the first case took me 6 hours, I fear for the next 9. That is all. Court is now adjourned. Hey, Bayless, I'm not guilty. 22nd November, 2:46 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendant's Antechamber, Antechamber 5. Can't believe it. Can't believe what had happened. I made it. I defended myself and made it through that horrendous trial. Ryunosuke. Finally pulled it off. Congratulations. Well, couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Kazuma. No. It's a pleasure to watch you at work. So, you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place on Yume University Street. Don't forget. Good afternoon. All your hard work simply paid off. Oh, it's this girl. Congratulations to both of you. Both of you proving now Moto-san's innocence. Ah, judicial assistant. Your work had hard result too. Oh no, I didn't do anything. Rikusuke! Thank you so much. If we hadn't had that research report from Miss Brett, I don't know how things would have turned out. Your kind words your kind words should really be for my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to the university and investigate. Your father? Yes, of course. Forgive me for intruding on a corpus Fiatin's services. Charo Mikotoba, Judicial Assistance to the Defense. Speaking of Mikotoba... Great. Congratulations, Naruhodo. You did an excellent job. Thank you, Professor. Oh no, it was I who should be thanking you after all. Your efforts exposed a true criminal that took the life of my good friend. Friend? Oh yes, you mentioned that. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume University, wasn't it? Yes, that's right. Professor Mikotoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain. Presumably, that's when you met Dr. Wilson. Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital. Oh, you worked together. Never heard you mention that before. Well, it was a long time ago now. Besides, it's your turn, so. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world in science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, law. Watch and learn. See what happens in the world's largest melting pot. I will. I'll learn all I can. I swear on the spirit of the Asogi clan. You're not taking that sort of great bait, are you? Of course I am. Japanese man's katana is his soul. This blade shows me where I need to go. It cuts down anything that's in my way. Yes, I've definitely seen how sharp it is already with my own eyes. That reminds me. What happened to the woman? To Jezebel Bread. After all, she's guilty of murder. Ah, yes. Her. It's not easy to tell you this, but... What do you mean? Surely she's going to face a trial herself now. She's a true culprit, after all. She will be leaving Japan in the very near future. For Shanghai. What? What? Shanghai? Was she a Chinese spy or something? Shanghai's China, right? Jezebel Brett will not appear in court again in this country. I'm certain of that. But why not? It's a matter of consular jurisdiction. Inspector Hosonoga. It was a hard-fought battle in your courtroom. Very impressive to watch. Must congratulate. Wait, that's not. What's all this about consular jurisdiction? We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan. What? We can't try her? Then who's going to bring her to justice? The British consular court will hear her case somewhere far away where our voices can't be heard. Why is it a consular? Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular reports were a thing of the past, now that we've signed the friendship treaty. Yes, in normal circumstances you're right. Then, so long as this is not a serious incident of highly political nature to our representing government. They can't invoke a consular court just like that. Oh, they can't? Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our government making secret arrangements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on. Suppose Red can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan. I'm afraid that for the young student, today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of her comeuppance for her. I don't believe it. The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over custody of Miss Brett. The office taking this case to a foreign student committing murder is very serious. Something sus. But it's all going to change for now. We can make it change. This is a time of great turmoil. This new era heralded by the start of a new 20th century. One day, I have no doubt, that woman will receive the judgment she deserves. Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones driving it. Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for celebratory drink. But Professor... You're right. There's no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Ryunosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start by having some fun. In that case, might I suggest the carnival? As head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drinks. You're a detective also, I guess, aren't you? Let's not worry about the details for now. To la Carnival! Will you accompany us, Professor? Of course. Carnival's food is second to none. I shall go and attend to the paperwork for Naruto-san's release. Oh, yes. Thank you. So Zero won't be tried here. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. Kazuma. Yes, Ryunosuke. Just wanted to say thanks again. That's all. You really saved my skin. I didn't do a thing. You were the lawyer in there, weren't you? That defense was all your own work. Your skills made a difference, though. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world. I'm not so sure about that. To be honest, it kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. Couldn't help but thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me. Come on. I helped you today. It was only right at the very start of the trial. But you have a natural talent for being a defense lawyer, I mean. Oh no, not me. All the tense verbal combat. I never want to go through that ever again. I did what you told me to do, that's all. Because I knew I could trust you. That's the point. Sorry? What do you mean, that's the point? Listen, Ryunosuke. Do you want the most crucial weapon that a lawyer needs in order to win? Knowledge of the law? No. The ability to believe. To believe? To believe what? A defense lawyer has to fight for his client. he has to believe in them at all times. Like you believed in me when I said I didn't do it. I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability that knows the truth. You have to make a choice about what to believe in, and stick to it when you're defending something. Sometimes in court, you can really be backed into a court. Being able to remain faithful to what you choose to believe in even then, well, that's something not anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person. Believing in your client. Let's look at today's trial. I'm a student, lawyer with precious little real experience. But you never stopped believing. Well, you face a seemingly hopeless situation time and again, but you never stopped looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it through your own efforts, and because you never stopped believing in me. Thanks, Cosmic. There's something I want to ask you, actually, Ryunosuke. Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me. Sounds serious. What is... Ah, you're still here, are you? Oh, Inspector Hosonaga. I've arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go. Oh, thank you. We'll be there right there. Yeah. Let's pick up this conversation again later. We should be celebrating right now. Your first court victory. And your study tour to Great Britain. Don't forget. Ah, yes. That too. So my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma. Professor Mikotoba. Susatsu-san acted as my assistant. Inspector Hosonaga didn't really play much of a part, but still. It was because of the help and support of all of these people that I managed to get through that trial. More importantly, Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life. I have a feeling I know what this favor is. I have a feeling. Defense debut awarded. Yes, save